Calling the 3:00 p.m. Human Services and later the 3:05 p.m. Human Services EET meetings. This meeting will include the following agendas, which is the 3 p.m. Human Services Committee and the 3:05 p.m. Joint Human Services Energy EET committees. Present with me is my Vice Chair, Leslie Hara, and myself, and hopefully we'll have some others as they are done, after they are done with their separate hearings. This meeting is being streamed live on YouTube. In the unlikely event that we have to abruptly end this hearing due to technical difficulties, the committee will reconvene to discuss any outstanding business at 3:11 p.m. Thursday, March 31 in conference room 225 and via video conference. Your audio will be muted and video disabled until shortly before it is your turn to testify. Each testifier will have 2 minutes to testify. If there's a technical glitch during your time to testify, we may have to move on to the next person due to time constraints. I will be reading a list of individuals who submitted written testimony for each measure. We apologize if the closed captioning does not accurately transcribe the names. If you're interested in reviewing the written testimony, please go to the legislator's website. You will find a link on the status page for the measure. We appreciate your understanding and remind you that the committee does have your testimony that I have reviewed, so I encourage you to use your time to either add additional comments or you can stand on your written testimony. So first up, we have SCR 180, SR 173, urging the Department of Human Services to designate 2 full-time equivalent employees to assist Compact of Free Association migrants to enroll in Medicaid. First up, we have MHS-NQD providing comments. I'm assuming, is Judy Moore Peterson available? Okay, if not, we have a written testimony. Next up, we have David Anita testifying for COFA Alliance National Network in support. Okay, this is in with SR 173. We're going to hear. And we have Gerald Silva in opposition. Okay, excuse me. We're going to call recess because we have technical difficulties. Recess. Okay, recalling the 3 p.m. calendar for Human Services. We were calling the witnesses for SCR 180, SR 173. And I understand the Department of Human Services, State of Hawaii, NQD, was having problems. Are you present and able to testify? I'm assuming it's Judy Moore Peterson. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Hello.
So
I apologize. We just joined, so I don't know what bill you're on.
no,
I'm
we're
so
on
sorry.
the first one. We waited
Oh,
for
gosh.
you.
Oh, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Well, we're standing on a written testimony. I think we're offering comments on this particular one. So thanks very much, and thank you
Okay.
for waiting and allowing us the opportunity to testify.
And thank you very much for sticking around. No one else having registered to testify, and I'm just recalling it. Basically, Department of Human Services, NQD, is providing comments as she stated, and testifying in support. We have David Anitoff for the COFA Alliance National Network. And we have only one individual in opposition, and that's Gerard Silva. Members, any question of the one witness who we have? No, seeing none, we're going to move on. SCR 181, request the County of Hawaii to conduct a feasibility study on the creation of a Marshallese Community Center in Hawaiian Ocean View Estates. Only one person having scheduled to testify, and that was to provide written testimony in support, Miley David, who is a Hawaii County Council person in support. And we don't have anybody here to ask questions of, so we're gonna move on. Next up, we have, excuse me, SCR 10, SR 4, urging the Department of Human Services to study the feasibility of increasing payments to Hawaii's community care foster family homes and expanded adult residential care homes for Medicaid recipients. First up, providing comments, we have Judy Moore Peterson. Are you still there? Department of Human Services, State of Hawaii.
I am. Aloha, thank you for this opportunity to testify. I'm Judy Moore Peterson, NetQuest Administrator, and on behalf of the Department of Human Services, we stand on a written testimony offering comments. I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And next up, and we only have one other person testifying in support, and that is Kea Arakaki Mineshima in support. Questions, members? Seeing none, moving on. Next up, we have SCR 102 SR 90, requesting the Office of the Auditor to conduct a performance audit of the Child Welfare Services branch of the Department of Human Services. First up, we have Department of Human Services, State of Hawaii in opposition. Okay, please proceed.
Aloha Chair and committee members. I'm Eladine Olivao, representing Child Welfare Services as their branch administrator. On behalf of the department, we stand by our testimony that has been submitted and will be available for any questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next up, 102. No one else having registered to testify and no one being present to testify, we have written testimony from Hawaii Family Advocacy Team, Marilyn Yamamoto in opposition, Kimiona Kane for Waimanalo Neighborhood Board in support, Barbara Meyer in support, Kimiona Kane individually in support, Nancy Errol Rubin in support, Dara Carlin in support, Donna Ambrose in support, Blaine De Ramos in support, Mia Lisa Otis in support, and Julie Tinsman in opposition. Members, any questions of the only witness we have? Okay, seeing none, we're gonna move on. Next up, we have SCR 223 SR 216, urging the Department of Human Services to establish or contract with a victim service provider to maintain an emergency shelter for children who are survivors of sex trafficking. First up, we have Department of Human Services, State of Hawaii, providing comments.
Aloha Chair, committee members. I'm Eladine Olivao, representing the Department of Human Services, Child Welfare Services branch administrator. On behalf of the department, we stand by our testimony that has been submitted and will be available for any questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next up, I see Judith Clark, Hawaii Youth Services Network, and support. Please proceed.
Aloha Chair, members of the committee. I'm Judith Clark, Executive Director of Hawaii's Youth Services Network. We are in strong support of this resolution. The Department of Human Services has received at least 183 reports of suspected child trafficking between 2018 and 2020. Between February 2019 and June 21, they received 205 reports of children being trafficked. I won't read the rest of the data that's in my testimony, but this does show a strong need for an emergency shelter for survivors of sex trafficking. The funding for the only existing shelter is fragile year by year and would greatly benefit from legislative support. Thank you for this opportunity to testify.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, no one else having registered to testify on SCR 223 and SR 216. We only have written comments from, well, written support from Dara Carlin in support. Members, any questions of the two witnesses we have? Okay, seeing none, we're gonna recess for decision-making and to find quorum. Recalling the 3:00 p.m. calendar for Human Services for decision-making for SCR 80 SR 173. Chair's recommendation is to pass this resolution as is. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote. Chair votes aye.
Members of the Committee on Human Services present today, we're voting on the chair's recommendation to pass SCR 180 and SR 173. Chair Sandra Ventura.
Aye.
We're taking one vote for both resolutions.
Yes, please.
Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Casio is excused. Senator Lisa Richa
Aye.
and Senator Favela.
Aye.
Recommendation is adopted.
Okay, thank you very much. For SCR 181, SR 174, Chair's recommendation is to pass with tech amendments. Vice Chair for the vote.
Okay, we're voting on SCR 181 and SR 174 in one vote to pass with recommendation. For the 4 members present, any reservations, objections? Otherwise, I cast an aye vote for the members present. The recommendation is adopted.
Thank you very much. For SCR 10 SR 4, Chair's recommendation is to accept MQD's recommendation to include other homes and community-based services on page 3, line 11, and amend the title to reflect the amendment. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Any, for the Human Services members present, any reservation, objections to the chair's recommendation to pass SR 10 and SCR 10 and SR 4 with amendments? Hearing none, the recommendation is adopted.
Okay, thank you very much. So for SCR 102, SR 90, Chair's recommendation is quite a bit. We're gonna amend line 13, page 1 to state improved its outcomes after failing, after the phrase CWS branch on line 13, and add a paragraph, whereas a 2010 House Concurrent Resolution number 165 sought to request from the auditor a program added on the efficiency and effectiveness of CWS in processing and investigating complaints, but the auditor by letter dated May 6, 2013, failed to conduct such audit as being problematic and duplicative of federal review by the National Resource Center for CPS, which conducts on-site visits. We're also going to add another paragraph, whereas the auditor's letter failed to be updated after the 2010 federal requirement for CWS to implement a second PIP to avert a penalty, nor did it conduct an assessment on the triage procedure required by the Federal Child Abuse and Treatment Act of 2003. We're going to amend line 4, page 2, to replace the phrase conduct to update its assessment standard to pursuant to the 2010 House Concurrent Resolution number 165, and to include the second program improvement plan required by US DHHS in 2010. We're going to delete lines 9 through 17 on page 2 and replace it with a triage procedure required by the FCAI Act of 2003. And no other amendments, and amend the title to reflect the amendments. Any comments, questions, concerns? Okay,
We're-
Vice Chair for the vote.
We're voting on the chair's recommendation to pass SCR 102 and SR 90 with amendments as stated. Any reservations or objections? The recommendation is adopted.
Thank you very much. For SCR 223/SR 216, Chair's recommendation is to pass with tech amendments. Any comments, questions, concerns? Okay, seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Any reservations or objections to the chair's recommendation to pass SCR 223 and SR 216? Hearing none, the recommendation is adopted.
Okay, we are adjourned for the 305 calendar, joint human services, energy, economic development, and tourism. So first up, we have SCR 153, SR 146, requesting the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism, Executive Office of Aging, and County of Hawaii Office of Aging to conduct a study on the necessity and feasibility of a senior living center in the Ka'u district. Oh. So first up, we have in support, Christopher Garsky, written testimony only. And we also have Hawaii County Council, Miley David, testifying for herself in support. And sorry, I didn't have a list. So Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism, testifying, providing comments. And we have one other individual, thank you, El Basha, in support. I see Carolyn Kadirao, Office of Aging, providing comments. Please proceed.
Thank you, Chair and Vice Chair. Caroline Kadirao here with the Executive Office on Aging, offering comments on the Senate Concurrent Resolution 153. As you're aware, EOA is the lead agency for coordinated services and supports for our older adults in the state of Hawaii. And while we support programs and projects that will provide services to our elders, especially in areas with limited access as Ka'u, we do not have the expertise in conducting a feasibility study for a senior living center, nor do we have funding for it. We do support the intent, and we defer to DBED and the County of Hawaii on implementation of a study. And I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next up, we have Eugene Tian for DBED, providing comments. Please proceed.
Aloha, my name is Eugene Tian. I'm the Economic Research Administrator. We stand on our written testimony providing comments. Actually, this resolution came out last year as SCR 23. We actually did a study, and along with my testimony, we provided some data for the district. I hope the data answers the necessity question, which we estimate about 2,000 elderly population in the Kau district. Among the 2,000, and there are about 32 units accommodate about 60 people. So we have about 150 people need the senior living. But I think we don't have the expertise in terms of the feasibility. I hope that the report and the testimony will meet the requirement of the necessity question. Thank you. I'll be available for questions.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you for providing that detailed report on Ka'u. Okay, next up, I've already mentioned, there is no one else having registered to testify. Other written testimony other than Miley David and Christopher Garsky is El Basha in support. Anybody else on Zoom wishing to testify on SCR 153, SR 146? Members, any questions? EET, any questions from your members?
No.
Okay, seeing none, we're gonna recess for decision making. Recalling the 305 calendar on the joint hearing for Human Services and EET for decision making. Chair for Human Services recommendation is to pass SCR 153, SR 146 with amendments. The main and tech amendments. The first amendment would be on second page, lines 4 and 5. We are just going to switch DBED with Executive Office of Aging so that DBED remains the lead pursuant to the title. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
With all members of the Committee on Human Services present, we're voting on two resos, SCR 153 and SR 146 to pass with amendments. Chair San Buenaventura.
Aye.
Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Ocasio.
Aye.
Senator Misalucha.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
The recommendation is adopted.
EET.
Same recommendation for Energy, Economic Development and Tourism. Vice Chair votes aye.
I vote yes. Senator Lee, excuse Senator Revere. Aye. Senator Favela. Aye. Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you all very much. We are adjourned.